मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्म एधि वेदस्य महाणीस्थ श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासीः अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्दधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Om. May my speech be firmly established in my mind. May the mind too be firmly established in my speech. O self-effulgent Lord, be revealed in my consciousness. May the truths of the scriptures come to me. May not what I learn from them ever forsake me. Let me live my life day and night according to their teachings. I shall speak what is appropriate. I shall speak the truth. May that protect me. May that protect the teacher. Om, peace, peace, peace. Let us feel all our different forms, different shapes, they have dissolved. Gone. Like the shapes of the salt crystals put in water. Gone with that are all limitations. Gone is all I and mine. Gone are all desires. All is bliss. consciousness. Permeated with knowledge and bliss. I am that. Om. Peace, peace, peace. So, dear friends, let us continue the discussion on this great biography of Sri Ramakrishna with our usual prayers. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavibhiriditam kalmashvapaham shravanamangalam Srimadattatam Bhuvi grinanti te bhurida jana. As this opening verse describes, that those great sages who tell us the life stories of the God appearing in human form and performing all human-like actions as a divine sport, they are the greatest givers of mankind, greatest benefactors of mankind, because by looking at those acts of God in human form, you know that you also are really divine, and all the bondages of I and mine then get shattered. It is when you see a demonstration and then you learn that, hey, this is the way it is done. Like some of our friends who fix things, repair things and all that. Now, if they do not know how to repair an instrument, then they, these days it is easily available. They go on the YouTube and see the video that how that thing is done. And by looking at that video, then they see, hey, that is the way. Now I get it. So, it is like that you see a human being like you, and then you see, but that person is free from all the sufferings that as human beings we ordinary people undergo. There are no attachments there, and yet infinite love is there. It is infinite love, no desires, no selfishness, and always, irrespective of the external conditions, in bliss. So, that gives us the idea that after all, I too am not just bound by the body. It is just as that person is not bound by body, uses the body, but is not bound by it. This is an important thing. It is like you use a car, but that is good, no problem if you are using a car. But being bound by the car, then that would be terrible. That you get into the car and then you are not able to get out of it. So, using the body is fine, but getting caught in the body, this is what I am. You never say, identify with the car. You use the car, okay, but you do not call yourself as car. It is that car is different, I use it. And the car may have the name like Mercedes or Toyota or Honda, that is the name of the car. You don't say, what Vishwanath, do you say that I am Honda? No, that is the car or whatever, it is name of the car. So you use the car, but you do not say that is I am. And then the attachments of the car, different parts and something that the smoke that comes out of the car is not that, it doesn't belong to you, it is coming from the car. So it is like that the house, my house, what is my there? Nothing. My children, what is my there? Absolutely nothing. It is all bondage that we invite. On the one hand, we say that I want to be free. On the other hand, we invite bondages. This is the contradiction of our life. But when we look at these incarnations of God incarnating as human being while being fully aware of their intrinsic divinity, they act in front of us like human beings. And by getting connected to them, we gradually learn that this also is divine. We start thinking of ourselves as divine. And then not only that, they show us the way how to proceed gradually. In taking baby steps, one may immediately say, oh, I am not there yet. It is good, I am not there yet. What does it mean? That there is the possibility that some point I will be there. Don't lose heart. Continue. Not yet. Okay, doesn't matter. Continue driving. You will get there provided you are going in the right direction. So, continue. These divine incarnations, they continuously keep on guiding us. And therefore, this chapter that we are reading right now and almost at the conclusion of the chapter, that is the nature of this Sri Ramakrishna as Guru. this whole section is Sri Ramakrishna in the play as Guru. He is, Sri Ramakrishna is in this whole book has taken up different roles. The roles that are described here, Sri Ramakrishna as a child, Sri Ramakrishna as a spiritual aspirant, Sri Ramakrishna as a guru, a teacher, and Sri Ramakrishna as a divine presence. So, this is a chapter that we will be almost finishing, maybe this class or the next class, is about how Sri Ramakrishna's that power of Guru is manifesting. And he has shown here that it is from what Sri Ramakrishna called as that being on the threshold, that it is the bhava mukha. What he calls is that bhava mukha. And it is a very significant, very deep word that you don't find in other old texts in Vedanta. It is probably Sri Ramakrishna heard this word from Divine Mother, that you be in bhava mukha, means it is where on the one hand you will see all the creation, all different aspects of it, and yet you will be merged in the divine presence. Your nature of divinity will be intact, no change there, and yet you will be able to see all the different creatures, as such all the universe about, all names and forms and all these fleeting things, and thus you have now the capability to guide the people. That the guidance can be given by someone who has these two things, has the knowledge and also the capability of coming down to the level of the student to impart that knowledge. Both these capabilities are very necessary. We had one very wonderful professor of mathematics. He was very brilliant, but he was not finding it easy to come to the level of students like me. So he would just write a theorem and say, well, it's obvious. Obvious? I used to be dumbfounded. Obvious to you? I don't get it. So please put some more steps. So, because he could see that, but he could not easily come down. You don't get it. Now how to show it to you? That becomes a problem. So, because you just open eyes and you see it, but no, I can't see it. Now how to show? So that teachership requires both these capabilities to come down to the students who are just seeing this world as real. I and world, I and mine, this is friend, this is foe, this is my child, that is somebody else's. This is all these things, they are what we see. We do not see that divine reality that is the substratum of all these changes. So this is the bhava mukha state where You see both these things very clearly. And thus now the knowledge can be imparted. For you it is obvious, and also you can gradually take the student to that level where it is obvious. I had given one incident as example. We used to go with a mobile dispensary to villages to give medications and all that with doctors and pharmacists and all that. So, and all the village people would be there, and they had their village language. It is the same language that I grew up with, but a different accent and different words, not just accent. Very different words that are used in village only. So, I had put on the canvas cloth shoes. So, one child pointed to the shoes and said, using a village word, Pallavache jode. Now you don't have to know this expression, Pallav. So I asked him, hey, what is Pallav? Now how to explain, but that fellow was a good teacher, that little boy. He started, he didn't know what the word that we use for cloth. So, but he started saying, you see, Pallav, the Pallav of shirt, Pallav of pant, Pallav of sari, Pallav of bedsheet. So I got it. Okay, what you mean is cloth. So now that is the way of teaching, bring the things to the level of the student. It doesn't depend on how old or young you are. Many times you can see the younger children, they can teach very good things. So it is that teachership is with Sri Ramakrishna. We were reading this paragraph last time, and the heading of this paragraph is, as manifestations of God's power, all gurus are the same, but one should have love, faith, and steadfast devotion for one's own guru. Hanuman's remark. Hanuman gave this remark there. We had read it last time, but let us read a little more. According to the scriptures, true Guru is one who is capable of removing the darkness of ignorance. And this is page 456 for those who are following the book. We have ascertained that the Guru is endowed with the special divine power. Now it must be admitted that Gurus are not many but one. This is an important statement which needs deep pondering. The Guru is one, means God alone is Guru. Sri Ramakrishna was never tired of repeating this, that Satchidananda alone is the Guru. God alone is the Guru. Now that Guru manifests through various forms, like the example I was giving last time. You can take up another similar example, that the water from the rains that falls, and one young man was asking me, was standing near one of the downspouts. I am hearing the sound of water. What is happening? Where is it? I said, well, it is, from this downspouts, the water that is accumulated on the roof, that is all coming down. And now it comes down from this downspout, there is another downspout there and another on the other side. Now, those 5-6 downspouts, it appears that this is the water of this downspout and that is water of that downspout. But actually it is all coming from the same source. In some decorative, these downspouts in many places in the olden times. Nowadays everything is, monetarily judged. So those things you don't see anymore in the modern houses. But in the olden houses, those downspouts would be given shapes. The water would be seen coming from the mouth of a dog or a deer or a cow and so forth, you see. So it is. Now, is it coming from the dog? No, that is coming from the roof. Is it coming from the cow? No, it's same roof that the water is coming from. So, similarly, different human gurus are really not different as far as this source of knowledge, source of the wisdom is one and the same. The same power of Guru is being expressed in different ways. So, you see, the Guru is one and the same, but although the power of God is manifest in different vessels or bodies, your Guru and my Guru are not different. There is a very beautiful statement in the Guru Stotra. It is a beautiful hymn on Guru, that Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Gurureva Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. That Guru is the Brahma, the creator, the protector Vishnu, and also the ultimate cause of where it dissolves. So, and that Guru is the Parabrahma, is, as you can see, palpable Parabrahma. And so, one verse in that says that my Guru is the Guru of the whole world. That Mama Mad Guru, Jagat Guru. And how that Guru is my Atma, Mamatma, Sarvabhutatma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. That which is I here is the I of everyone, which is the ultimate statement of Vedanta, that Atman is everything. Atmaivedagam sarvam. Atman is all that is. So, in everyone there is the same Atman, no different. Like in all the different wax statues in Madame Tussauds museum, you see they are different shapes. But wax, after all, they are all same wax. Heat any and they will melt and become the same wax. There, the statue of a very evil person and statue of a very nice person, and they, as their content, it is same. So also in all different beings, the same self. The wickedness and the goodness, they do not belong to soul. They belong to body and mind, and that is why it is changeable. It is changeable. That for the same statue of somebody, if you want to mold it into another statue, okay, just heat it up, it will become wax, and make another statue from that, doesn't matter. It is similarly, the characters get changed. you see the same somebody who is a terrible sinner becomes a saint. So it is like that. That very beautiful statement is there about it, that every saint had a past. Means that person was not saint then. Every saint had a past. And its corollary is therefore every sinner has a future when that person will not be sinner anymore. A very hopeful statement, full of hope. Yeah, howsoever we may be. But that is, I can become a saint by proper molding. So, this is how the Guru is the same. That principle is pervading everywhere. Now, it is said, but the power they share is the same. The story of Ekalavya from Mahabharata illustrates this. When Drona refused to accept him as disciple, Ekalavya practiced archery before the clay image of Drona. A very educative incident in Mahabharata, that these all princes, they were being tutored by a great teacher in warfare and especially in archery, in Dronacharya. And then this young boy, he was not from any this high clan, and was somebody, probably a tribal living in a forest. And he saw and decided that he would like to learn this art of archery from this great teacher, and approaches him that, please teach me, I take refuge in you, please teach me. It is, and that Guru said, no, you can't be student of my school. You do not belong to this princely clan. I don't teach students like you. Sorry, but no, I can't teach you. Now, this student is not going to give up. Okay, there are two types of our interactions. This is a very beautiful way to understand these things. That suppose you meet a person, now you have an impression of that person depending on how your interaction with that person went. And then you carry a mental image of that person. That person is that for you. It is that objectively speaking, that person may have many different characteristics. But what in Sanskrit is called bhavamurti, that the mental image that you carry of that person is your understanding, that way of looking at that person, and how that person has impressed you. Now, whatever Dronacharya might have said to this young boy about, young boy saw that he is my teacher. He may not be teaching me in the formal way as he is teaching others, but I still am going to learn from him. It is, there are many instances. I know some great singers. They were not accepted in the formal music school because they were not able to pay the fees or the school was too full and whatever. So, and that a young boy who became later a very, very famous singer in India, he used to sit down and hear the class going on, and then from that he picked up so much and gradually he developed it. Now he mentions that later on that as his teacher. Although there was never a formal teaching like that, but he heard by sitting, the class would go on the upper story of the building, he would just sit on the bottom of that staircase, near the staircase, on the sidewalk, and then hear. And with that, that kind of studentship, learning becomes easy. Because you have to really have that studentship will make you learn things because you really want to learn. If we approach with that kind of attitude that I want to learn, then you can learn from anything. It is there that the statement of Shakespeare becomes so true that for that kind of a learner, they find books in brooks and sermons in stones. Yeah, it is possible when you have that understanding that this is my teacher. So he makes a clay image of that teacher, Guru. And that starts speaking to him. That starts giving lessons to this young child, fired with the zeal to learn. And then he became such an expert that, and nobody here, none of those princes, including the Guru, the teacher, didn't know about it. It so happened once that all of them, they decided to go in the forest near and started, going, and then a dog was barking. Now the dog's barking was kind of irritating them. But what to do? They didn't want to kill the dog by shooting the arrow. And they suddenly saw somebody shot a few arrows right in the mouth of that barking dog. That stopped the dog's barking without hurting the dog. And that the best student whom the teacher had told that he will make him the best archer in the world, he immediately with indignation asked the teacher, "You did not teach me this? Who is this who is doing it?" And they, as they moved forward to see who has achieved this great thing, they saw this young boy, and he prostrated before the teacher, and the teacher asked, "Who taught you?" He said, "You taught me." "You taught me." And then the teacher, because he had told that I will make you the best archer in the world, to the other, that student, Arjuna, his name, he said, "Well, you learn from me. did you give me the fees, the honorarium for learning? And this student said that, oh, whatever you ask for, I have learned from you, and I will give you the honorarium that you ask for. And comes this sad part. I could never stop my tears at that the teacher said, okay, the fee that I ask is, cut the thumb of your right hand and give me as my fee, so that you will not be able to shoot another arrow now. That is my fee. And this young boy did it. Well, after all, the teacher, he is teacher. So the knowledge has come from the teacher. Otherwise, why will he give? If somebody else will not ask also and will not be given also. It is the teachership is there. So it is. There are many instances like that. In Mahabharata, there are many illustrative stories like this. That there is the story of Karna, who wanted a particular great weapon from, and only one person had that. His name was Parshurama. But again he had the condition that he will teach only those who are Brahmins. Now Karna was not Brahmin, but then he dressed like a Brahmin and all that and pretended that I am a Brahmin, please teach. And then he learnt almost everything. He used to serve the Guru with great tenderness, great care. One day it so happened that Guru wanted to take some rest, lie down, and he said, Karna said, well, okay, you can keep your head on my lap, and then you can, because there is no proper pillow here, so you just keep your head on my lap. Now that was done. Now where they were sleeping, right where this Karna, this student, was sitting, there were all those big ants. And then they started just gnawing into the lap of this student Karna. And just so that this Guru be not disturbed in the sleep, he was forbearing all this pain. The blood was going out of the leg, and still he did not budge from the place. After some time, this Guru, Parshurama, got up and saw what happened. And he told, well, you are not a Brahmin. This kind of forbearance is not characteristic of Brahmins. Tell me the truth. And then he confessed that he is from the clan of what is called Kshatriyas. So therefore, now the Guru said, well, now anyway you have learned. But when you have learned it out of, by cheating, through treachery. So the result will be that when you will need this weapon, you will forget how to invoke it. And that is what happened, when it was to be used in the war. Hey, my goodness, he could never remember how to use it. So what I mean here is that there is this connection of the giver. The one who can give can take away also. So the Guru gives and Guru takes away also. So this is an important idea to say that this wisdom, this can actually be given, can be taken, and by devotion to Guru, one gradually evolves in it. Devotion to Guru is not just a trifling thing. It is so important in all kind of knowledge. And when it comes to the spiritual wisdom, there is absolutely no other way to acquire it except through this deep devotional connection with Guru. So this is one starts seeing these things gradually. One may understand it, but as long as one's body consciousness remains, one has no alternative other than to worship the human Guru, through whose body the divine power is bestowing grace. And this is because this danger comes. Okay, the Guru is God after all. Why should I have a human Guru? This is a question that keeps on nagging many people. That that fellow, is after all a human being. Sri Ramakrishna said that Chetanananda is Guru. I can understand that, I can accept. But this human being, just like us, why should I have devotion to that person? This is where we commit a big folly. A naturally happening thing, it is, as one of my teachers used to say, this is another snare of Maya. That, I want God, no doubt, I respect God. But then, how that knowledge is going to come from an ordinary human being? It does not come out from the ordinary human being. It is where the God's power is, there it manifests. You never say, why should I connect this wire to the lights? This wire, this is just a metal. This is not electricity. I want electricity. Well, it is the wire that carries the electricity. So you have to connect to that to get it. Nobody asked this silly question, why should I connect to the wire? Let me connect directly to electricity. Well, how are you going to connect? So, it is a human compulsion. How long this human compulsion is? Till we are tied with this human body consciousness. When I have this body consciousness, I am this human being. I am a man or a woman, I am so many years old, I have these problems, I have high blood pressure or low blood pressure, or the pressure of the peers and whatever, it is. Then with all these human characteristics, that Guru also will have to have human characteristics for you. Otherwise, you will not be able to connect, basically. That connection will not happen. It is very nice to say orally. Verbal this thing, we can all give wonderful lectures, no lack of words or vocabulary, but practically we will not have any spiritual development unless we form that connection. It is, just imagine all these light fixtures, and we may keep on, electricity is everywhere. This whole universe is charged. Hey, bulb, you please get lighted. No, it has a particular way of connecting. You have to have the proper source, then that electricity gets carried through various levels of grid and all that, and then one cable is going near your under that street there, and then you connect your power cords to that, all that wires wherever they go, then they will have the electricity. So similarly, as human beings, let us remember we do not have any recourse but to take refuge in a human being where God's power is functioning. It is like the wire which is live. A wire that is live, through which that power will be able to function in our life. And that is why the great respect that is necessary to be given to the human guru as well too, because it is through that the power will be coming to you. The respect, adoration, reverence. You can use many words, that is, doesn't matter. What it means is forming a proper connection between that source of power and our personality, our being, like the light fixture and the source of power, they have to be properly connected. If the light fixture has ego, I don't want to get connected. Well, who is that I won't get anything from? Okay, you won't get it. That is the thing, It is not possible, friends. So, therefore, he says here that one may understand it, that but here it is that understanding doesn't become functional, that God is everywhere, but it is are you able to shake away your human attachments? It is so difficult to just see getting separated from the body. We know body is not I. There is all logical evidence, and it is so simple. You don't need any, that university degrees to know this simple thing that you are not the body. But to get that experience is a different thing. To know intellectually that I am not body is just, very, very simple, no brainer at all. But to actually experience it is a completely different ball game. One has to get into that practice, get that connection, and thus through that repeated practice, dedicated practice, for a long time one has to keep at it, and thus, as that Patanjali mentions it in his yoga aphorisms, Satu Dirghakal Nairantarya Satkar Asevito Dridabhume, that it is Dirghakal, it is a matter of long practice. It is, oh Swami, I started doing the mantra for half an hour I had been doing, nothing happened. Well, it is, it may take a decade if you do it regularly, determinedly, with devotion. It may take 100 years, it may take 100 lives. Do not ask how long it takes, but you have to keep on practicing it. And then the result will be seen in life gradually. So, this is matter of practice. So, one should be ready to take it up, you see. It is not without practice nobody gets it. It is a myth that, oh, somebody will come and touch me, a great saint will come and put a hand on my head and then all will be done. That is not, that doesn't happen. And please be careful if some teacher tells you, okay, I will touch my hand to you and you will be illumined. There was a great saint in Maharashtra, Swami. He says that if some teacher tells you that no, you don't need to undergo any spiritual practice, that kind of teacher, even if you get 3 for a penny, don't take them. It is because we like cheap things, that okay, get 1 for a penny and maybe that will be get one another for free, okay. So 3 for a penny teachers, but if they are not telling you how to do spiritual practice, then it is they are just dummy teachers. They are not teachers at all. The teachers will make you go through the grind of spiritual practice. It is, otherwise you will not get over. It is over that ignorance. It is, one has to say you get the wheat flour, but then from the farm you get those, they need to be husked, the wheat, all the chaff has to be thrown. It is a process, and it is a kind of beating it, beat till the husk is gone. So our personality needs to be beaten. Then it needs to be ground fine. See how much pain it will have. All our ignorance and the attachments that are born out of ignorance, they need to be ground to fine powder. And then you have to knead it with water and all, make a dough. And then put it in the oven to get mixing with oil, this, that, make it into a cake. So it is all that process has to undergo with our personality. Then that divine in will start manifesting. So this is how the Guru works. So it is. Then there is that story of Hanuman. He said, once during the war in Sri Lanka, Ramachandra and Lakshmana were bound by great hero Meghanad. This is a story from Ramayana. These are all illustrations, like on the last Sunday from Swami Vivekananda's Karma Yoga book, we were seeing that the mythologies or stories, they are for explaining the philosophical ideas. So this is a story that Ramachandra, then the snakes had tied that Meghanad, Ravana's heroic son. Meghanad had this special weapon, and so he summoned all those snakes, and those snakes tied Rama and Lakshmana, and they would be dead then soon. But Rama, he summoned the big hawk-like, bird, Garuda. It is eagle, not hawk. Eagle, Garuda. And then Garuda came with all these other Garuda army, and then killed all those snakes. And thus now they became free. So pleased with his devotee, Ramachandra appeared before Garuda in the form of Vishnu, Garuda's beloved chosen deity, and thus convinced him that Vishnu was truly incarnated as Rama. But Hanumana did not like seeing Ramachandra in the form of Vishnu. And this is the idea of Ishta Devata, the chosen ideal. Today's time, friends, is over. So we shall continue with this discussion next Tuesday. And we shall meditate on these teachings for say 30 seconds. And then if you at all have any questions or comments, please feel free to ask. Yes, please. Oh, Charlie, okay.
Some teachers may teach that God is everywhere. Some may teach that only my religion is right. And some may teach atheism. Which ones are gurus?
Whatever you think, you will get whatever you are seeking. Everything has their gurus, Some gurus are good with teaching carpentry. Some are good in the plumbing business. Depends on what you want to learn. It is. It depends on what one is seeking. It is what you are. If you are what you are seeking is right, you will get the right guru. So, let us conclude with the closing prayers. Coming Saturday, there is the day-long spiritual retreat, and the registration is still open. So, those of you who would like to join, please see Naomi there, sitting in the corner there. She will help you to register, or you can register online as well. May the Divine, who is Father in heaven of the Christians, Holy One of the Jewish faith, Allah of the Muslims, Buddha of the Buddhists, Tao of the Taoists, Great Spirit of the Native Americans, Ahur Mazda of the Zoroastrians, and Brahman of the Hindus, lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. May the all-loving being manifest himself unto us and grant us abiding understanding and all-consuming divine love. Peace, peace, peace be unto all.